And right now, I want to welcome to the program Julie Gunlock of the Independent Women's Forum here with a Nanny State update. Well, there you go, Julie. News from the Nanny State.
Yes, I mean, and more important news, cookie dough is at risk, right?
Yeah, yeah. Ban everything.
Yes, ban everything. The fun stealers at the FDA are at it again.
Yes, so they want to ban, they don't want to ban cookie dough.
No, they don't want to ban it, but
Not
they've
yet.
issued this big, scary warning. I mean, this is why these big, powerful agencies exist, right, to warn moms that, feeding your child cookie dough is somehow harmful. And look, there has been a recall of some flours because it's been infected with a pathogen. So they have already done that. But now they're telling moms that you might not want to eat that raw cookie dough because you might be using the flour that's been recalled. So, just a lot of bluster from the FDA about something that I think people can make their own decisions as to whether they're going to risk it by, licking the spoon after making cookies.
Well, here's the thing. So most of us grew up thinking that it was bad for us because of the raw eggs, and we could get salmonella, or we could get worms, right?
Right.
That was. So it's not like too many Americans have grown up thinking that eating raw cookie dough doesn't come without a risk.
Right. People kind of know raw things come with some risk, right? It's amazing that sushi is still legal in this country and raw oysters, but I actually found an old video, and I encourage everybody to watch it. I put it up on IWF.org's website on the blog. Lenore Skenazy, our good friend Lenore Skenazy, actually looked at the actual risk of getting salmonella from eating raw eggs through cookie dough, and she found that there's really not any risk at all. She has this hilarious video. She actually looked at the statistics. There's only the USDA tracks this stuff, and only 1 in 30,000 eggs gets salmonella. So, your chances of having salmonella, and there's only 6 deaths a year from a salmonella tainted egg. It's sad, but it's 6 deaths in a country that's 300 million people. This is not a big risk here. So she's got some reassuring facts in her video, and I put that up again at IWF.org.
All right. Again, talking with Julie Gunlock of the Independent Women's Forum. And, Julie, we are, it seems, as we get closer to the elections and the conventions, we'll see the Democratic platform unveiled here in the next couple of weeks. And I'm very curious to see, how many attacks on constitutional rights. How many things, how many ways are Americans going to be told you're not responsible enough, you're too immature to handle these freedoms? Because, it does seem like as we get closer to elections, that rhetoric is actually ramping up. It's not necessarily quieting down.
No, and, I think voters really need to think about who in this country is taking away your right to prosper, your freedom to live the life you want to live. Carrie Lucas, who's also with IWF, wrote this great piece about how, just look at the things that you want to do during the summertime and how the government's kind of interfering with your ability to have fun. She talked about how Austin has banned Uber. This is not Republicans that are doing this. These are Democrat city council members that have banned Uber and Lyft. Now, guess what's gone up in Austin? DUIs, drunk driving convictions, okay? It is really dangerous to take these ride-sharing options away from people. You look at the crackdown on Airbnb. People like to go out and get a summer vacation, right? And we know that wages have been stagnant in this country, that the economy is sputtering along. Nobody's had a raise in a decade, okay? And so a lot of people are able to, for instance, I have a big family, and it's really hard to find a hotel room. I can't afford a suite. So sometimes we do Airbnb because we can find bigger accommodations at a hotel price, more space for our big family. And so, New York City is going to run them out of the city. That is ridiculous. It's just terrible to take away these options from people. And again, these are Democrats doing this stuff, okay? These aren't Republicans. So I think voters need to really kind of get a sense of and realize that a lot of the policies being pushed through that are taking away their fun, that are taking away their ability to make money. You think of all these Austin drivers that were making money on Uber, and now they can't do it anymore. These are policies pushed by Democrats, not by Republicans.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And look, I'm sure you can find, over on the right, the Republicans, I'm sure, have their own a list of things that they want to ban. John Lithgow, I think, doesn't like dancing. Maybe maybe that was just a movie
God.
that I'm thinking
Wow.
of. But I don't want to see our politics, Julie, devolve to the point that, okay, if you're either for banning this stuff or you're for banning that stuff. And you got to choose between one of these two parties, the party that's going to ban the items from List A or the items from the other party, which will be concentrating on banning items from List B. What happened to, and where is that articulation, besides coming from the American people, of freedom and liberty and dare I say, independence as we get ready to celebrate on this 4th of July weekend?
Yeah, look, I agree with you. I think there's bad policies on both sides, but I do think that I think that there is a particular vile thing in play here when you're taking away people's ability to make money and support themselves, and that's what a lot of these city councils are doing by really damaging the sharing economy, which has been incredibly helpful to people to be able to sort of work a full-time job, and then they want to pick up, an Uber job at night, or if they, want to rent their extra room out to make a little extra money. I think it's just a particularly vile thing to take away people's ability to make money in a creative and a way that's not harming anybody, and in fact, actually helping people.
Well, I do too, but again, the regulatory state is this is a big revenue generator, right? And when it comes to Uber, when it comes to Lyft versus taxi medallions, a lot of these cities, they're not ready to give up that cash. They're not ready to. And it should be noted that as with a lot of things political, you've got interest groups who are getting involved here, and the existing order doesn't want to see things change. They don't like that competition. But it's funny that the supposed forces of progress are in many of these localities actually saying no to progress, and they are fighting like hell to keep the status quo in place.
Right, absolutely. And again, I think when you look at all of the innovations that have come out over the last 30 years, whether we're talking about technology or things like Lyft and Uber and Airbnb, we have the potential. People have the potential now to really have more flexible hours, have a much easier time making money, and every step of the way, people on the left want to put a stop to that. And I hope that voters are able to connect the dots when they enjoy something like Uber. They need to know that there are certain politicians who want to put a stop to innovations like that. And so I think it's really, really important that voters be reminded of that.
I do too. Julie, listen, thank you so much for coming on the program. You have any big plans for Independence Day this weekend?
We're going to spend it with my mom and dad, and my mom makes the best pie in the world, so it'll sure to be a good one.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. Enjoy the pie, and look forward to talking again very soon.
Talk soon. Thanks.
Julie Gunlock with us here on NRA News, Cam and Company.